Right. So I wanted to talk about the fat loss. We get a lot of discussion around how quickly should I work on losing weight. Now, okay, I'm gonna refer it as weight loss, but when I say that, I really mean losing fat, because losing weight and losing fat are kind of different, right? So even if I say weight loss, just know that I'm actually talking about losing actual body fat and not just your water and all that stuff, right? You get a lot of people saying, you can't lose weight too quickly, it's unhealthy, it's bad for you. And then on the other end of the spectrum, it's like, no, it's fine, crash diets are fine because they're temporary when they're needed and stuff like that. And the thing is, there's an argument to be made for both sides. There is, because again, that spectrum that I always try to talk about, right? I am that person who likes to stay in the middle, and people don't like that, right? But as far as the evidence goes, right, there is no one best way. Why? It comes down to the individual in front of you. So my bias, usually because of the population I work with, I tend to go with the slower loss for a few reasons. However, what I did want to quickly talk about first is the myth that we hear a lot, that I used to say as well, for fast weight loss and why it's bad for you. So you often hear things like, oh, the faster you lose it, the quicker you gain it back, how it messes up your hormones, how it leaves you feeling deprived and and all that stuff, right? But are all those things true? Not necessarily. And here's why, right? We know from research that just because you're losing weight fast, it doesn't mean you're going to gain it back just as fast. Not automatically, at least. Your body doesn't go, this person has lost weight really quickly, so I'm going to make them gain it back just as quickly. And I'm going to talk about why a lot of people tend to find that to happen for them, but it doesn't happen to everybody, right? In terms of your hormones being messed up again, are your hormones always going to be messed up if you're losing weight fast? Again, not entirely true, right? On the other end of the spectrum, we talk about, sustainable weight loss is great, slow is great. Yeah, that is true. However, when you do have a person who needs that quick boost of motivation to hit, if the weight loss is taking too long, they're going to end up giving up before they get anywhere, right? So is sustainable weight loss, well, by sustainable, I mean slow weight loss, a good thing for them? Probably not. Say for someone who's really overweight and their body fat is actually starting to threaten their life, is slow weight loss in that person a good idea? Probably not so much, because you want to help them lose as much weight as possible for a short period of time, so that it sort of helps them in terms of their metabolic health, right? So when the metabolic health, we talk about blood pressure, blood sugar, and all that stuff, right? Now, the people I work with, right? The moms I work with, the busy coaches I work with, the busy doctors I work with, the already stressed out people who I work with, who are trying to juggle all these things. The reason I don't automatically do fast weight loss, because it requires a lot of restriction, right? If you want to lose, because losing weight really does come down to calorie deficit. If you want to lose weight quicker, means you need to restrict your intake a lot more. You need to move more, right? And that can be stressful for a short period of time, right? So and what I've tended, because I have tried that with some people and it just didn't work, because it increased the guilt when they couldn't stick with it, right? It also worsened the relationship of food, right? So again, would the fast weight loss be a good thing for these people? Not. But does it mean it can't work for other people? No, because I do have other athletes who have amazing relationship with food, who are athletic, who train hard, who have physique goals, right? And for those people, if they want to lose weight, I haven't got a problem to say, you know what, I'm going to put you on a massive deficit next week. Let's see how that plays out. And they can end up losing 1 to 2 kilos a week. I haven't got a problem with that. Why? Because I know this person can handle it. And once they lose that, I also know they're going to be able to maintain it and sustain it. Does that make sense? So the rate of weight loss that you choose, it has to be something that you're actually feeling comfortable to do. There isn't one perfect way to do it. For some people, fast works great, and it doesn't mean it's going to mess up their metabolism and they're going to gain weight, the weight back quicker and all that stuff. Doesn't really happen. And for some people, the fast weight loss is not a good idea because it may stress them out more. It may make them feel deprived more. It may make the relationship with food worse. You can have people who've been on a diet all their life, right? And fast weight loss may not be a good idea because then that just continues the cycle of dieting, of starting and stopping, right? So again, as a coach, and if you're a coach who's listening to me, look at the person in front of you. What are their needs? What are their goals? What can work for them? Right? There isn't A or B. That dichotomy is really not true. It's not there, right? The strategy that you use for someone has to be something that they are comfortable with. And again, just because they're eating a certain way for a short period of time, right, it doesn't mean that they have to eat that way for the rest of their life. Their dieting period can be a short period. That's absolutely fine. Where they go really hard, really fast, they lose the weight, they go back to their normal eating ways, right? Now, what we do tend to find, the problem that people do crash diets and regain the weight back. Why? Because they haven't built those health promoting behaviors yet. Right? You have someone who wants to go on a crash diet, right? They lose the weight, but because they don't understand the basics of nutrition, they don't understand how to eat a burger and still continue to maintain their weight, right? They end up going back to their old way of eating, which doesn't serve them, hence they end up gaining the weight back. It's not because the body just miraculously starts to pile the weight back on, no. It's because these people haven't learned how to continue that journey, how to maintain that loss they have created by eating better, by moving more, by staying active, by choosing food choices that promote health, right? But instead, they go back to their old eating ways. So if you want to lose weight in the fastest possible way, you absolutely can. There's nothing wrong with that. But just be sure, number one, you have a good relationship with food. There's no this guilt of cheat meals, of bad food, good food, I'm cutting out carbohydrates, I'm cutting out bread, da, da, da. You don't need none of that. If you have a good relationship with food, right? If you understand the basics of nutrition, what does a healthy lifestyle look like? Does it mean cutting out rice and bread and pasta? It doesn't mean that. You can have all those things, right? Understand the basics of nutrition. Make sure that this short period of time is not going to stress you out, and actually that you can ride the hunger wave, because you're going to be hungry. Your body's going to, because what happens when we lose weight quickly, right? Hunger goes up. So your body's going to try to get you to eat that. So that is something you have to be conscious of. Yeah, if you want to lose weight quickly, ride that wave. Being hungry for a little bit is not going to kill you. But if being hungry is causing you to binge eat and stuff like that, then probably not a good idea. Does that make sense? So again, the foundation. Have you got the foundation to implement fast weight loss? If you've got it, go for it. Right? Because again, for some people, that's a good, because it gives them that a kickstart. It keeps them motivated, going, actually this works. I can do this, right? But it's someone who starts really slow and they're not seeing any shift in weight for a long, long time. That may demotivate them, right? But then again, I'm repeating myself this a lot, because I find that a lot of people don't understand this. A lot of people, they like things to be black and white, and there isn't anything black and white in this industry. What is going to work for you is going to be unique to you. Just because something works for somebody else, it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And just because something's going to work for you, it doesn't mean it's going to work for somebody else. Right? So try things out, see how they feel. And if at any point you're feeling, you know what, this whole dieting thing is not really healthy for me because all it makes me think about is food and this and that, then take the slow approach. Right? But if you feel, you know what, I'm in a pretty good place when it comes to my relationship with food, with my understanding of what healthy nutrition looks like, and I exercise and I move, and I'm aware that I'm going to be hungry. I'm also aware that my movement may reduce because my body is going to try to preserve as much energy as it can while I'm on this diet. I'm aware and I'm okay with that, right? I'm going to be conscious about trying to move more while I'm dieting for a couple of weeks or so. That's okay. And I know when I stop, I'm going to go back to eating better, you know, the foods that I know promote health and stuff like that. If you're aware of that, then go for it, right? But if you have a feeling, yeah, this is probably not great for my mental health because all I'm going to think about is food and it's going to cause me to binge eat, or it's going to stress me out, or I don't think I can sort of sustain it and maintain because I don't understand nutrition, then don't do it, right? So again, what works for you may not work for somebody else and vice versa. So find something that's going to work for you. That was a loadful, but I really wanted to come on here and talk about that because I see this a lot. I see people trying to find that magic answer, the magic tool, like, you know what, this thing is the thing that's going to solve my last problem. If only, my lovelies, if only that's how it works, but it doesn't. What's going to work for you is going to be unique to you. And it's a matter of trial and error. But the most basic thing that you need to do is first understand nutrition. Understand the basics. Take time to learn the basics, right? What is actually needed for me to maintain health long term, and take it from there. All right, that's it for me today. I will catch you guys soon, inshallah. Talk to you later. Bye.